Hello, Danielle and David. This is Dusty from Toyota of Gladstone. I am here with your RAV4, and I wanted to do a quick delivery video since we're going to be trying to minimize the amount of time we are in contact with each other because of all the craziness going on right now. So I wanted to deliver the vehicle to you virtually so you can see what I normally would show all my customers, everything about their car as they are about to drive away in it. So just a quick walk around. I have not taken this to the detail yet. I'm recording it here on Saturday to get it in the detail shop, get it all cleaned up, and we're gonna go park it in a corner so everybody can stay away from it. Coming around here to the back, opening this tailgate, there is a button underneath this Toyota symbol, kind of a little off center. Just press that. You hear the beep. The lights flash, but you couldn't quite see in the camera angle, and that automatically opens that tailgate for you. Coming in here, you do have the tonneau cover that covers anything you have hiding in the back, as well as some storage space down here with your spare tire. 12-volt outlet right here for any charging accessories you need to do. Another little cubby right there. And the lights right here, I'll go ahead and turn those on. So now that light comes on when this back hatch is open. To close the hatch, you can press that button right there, or you can actually pull on this lever right here, give it a good tug, let go, and it will it'll automatically close the rest of the way for you. Coming over here to the driver's seat, you'll notice, I don't know if you can see in the camera, there we go, those little hash marks right there. I've got the key in my pocket, and I just touched these. I don't know if you could hear the beep, but it beeped and locked the doors. Now to get into the car, all I gotta do is put my hand right here behind this, having the keys in my pocket, and it unlocks the door for me. I can't leave the keys in the car. If I try to, here's the keys. If I try to walk away, leaving the keys on the seat, and push this button right here, I don't know if you can hear the long beep. It says, hey, you forgot something. So yeah, power seats down here, and hopping in the driver's seat. So to start the car, you may know, but just to go over it real quick, there's a push button. You're gonna want to make sure your foot is pressed on the brake firmly. You just gotta have the keys in the car, and then you'll come over here, push the button, and everything comes on. You'll be greeted by this right here and your multimedia display right there, and also your system over here comes on. We're gonna go ahead and continue. So going through the display, this is the screen that most people are probably going to leave their display on most of the time, but you do have different options. You can change what that screen is right there in the middle by navigating through with this directional pad right here. So make it so you can see both. As I push anything, it changes the different information that's here. Some of these have menus that are down, some of them are sideways, so it depends on what information you want to see. Like I said, most people will leave it here. I personally would leave it here because fuel economy is important to me, and I already have the gauge right there telling me my speed, but that's where most people leave it here on this digital readout of your speed. I don't know if you can hear, but the vehicle is on. The gasoline engine just kicked on. But the car will stay on. It's a hybrid. The car will be on, the gas engine won't be on. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise sometimes, and then sometimes the gasoline engine picks up and kicks on. You can see over here on this display that it's showing us what's going on with the energy distribution. And these are touch buttons, or touch screens, so you can click on them and it gives you some different information. Toyota does a great job of keeping some physical buttons to help you navigate around this system. So the home button will take us back to that screen we were at. On this side, you would have whatever radio or music or whatever is playing, a little bit of information about that right there. And then down here, you would have some information about your phone, what's going on with that. Right at the home screen, super easy to look at. Going through here, the menu, there's a bunch of different options in here. Here's where you would go to like set up new devices on your thing. But the first time you want to set up a thing, you can go right here. Just press this phone button. It's going to say there's no devices. It's really straightforward. Just follow these instructions here and get your phone paired up. Back to the home screen, when you're driving around and you have an incoming phone call, you can actually answer those calls right here by pressing this button. And if you wanted to make a phone call, you can press this and it'll ask you for a command, and you can say, call mom, and it'll dial mom for you. Volume controls right here for your music and your calls. And then this back screen is actually for going through this information up here. Over here on this side, we've got a couple more buttons. Right here, we've got our, this is how you turn on your cruise control. If I turn it on, you'll see that there's a green light up there that came on. That is the same symbol in the top corner of that multimedia display. Turn it off and it goes away. So when you turn on your cruise control, you'll press that button. And then when you're at the speed you want it to set to, you can press the set right here. That sets the cruise control. You can bump up or down a mile per hour, or you can turn cruise control off by pressing cancel right there. Now, when you've got the cruise control on, this button right here is for your smart cruise control following distance. So that'll allow you to change the following distance. Can't demonstrate it while I'm sitting here, but you will see a feedback in here, 3 blue lines that go horizontally. When you change that, it'll decrease from 3 to 2 to 1 blue line going across horizontally. Those are the different following distances for long, medium, and short. This button right here is for your lane keeping, so you can toggle that on and off. When you press that button, again, you get some instant feedback up there that tells you what's going on. So it says that the lane assist is turned on there. Convenient, you can turn it on and off right here. Some people don't want it on all of the time. I think it's super handy on a road trip or something like that, but I personally wouldn't want it on all the time either. Last button here, mode. This one changes from AM to FM. So if I press that button, the feedback on the screen over there tells us what's going on. And then if you want the music off, you actually do have to go here, turn the music off. Down here, we've got some buttons as well. So this vehicle is equipped, I'll start here. This is for dimming the dash lights. So you roll that little dial and it'll dim the dash lights when your headlights are on. Your headlights are turned on with this lever right here. So right now it's in the auto position. You probably can pretty much just leave it there. That will automatically turn your headlights on as you need them, turn on driving lights as you need them, and turn them all off if you don't need them, if it's nice, bright, and sunny. So yeah, you can leave it right there in that auto position. Probably never touch it other than for using your blinker. Also, to turn the brights on, you flip this whole lever forward towards the front of the car. That turns your brights on. And the reason I mention that is because of this next button I want to talk about. So this is for automatic high beams. So right now it's off. When I press this button, it'll illuminate green. That lets you know that your automatic high beams are on. How that works is there's a camera mounted up inside of here. This camera does a bunch of stuff, but this is one of the main one of the functions of it is how it works with automatic high beams for you. It will automatically turn on and off your high beams as that camera is detecting incoming traffic or as you get close to the car behind you. So between that and the automatic headlights, you're almost never even touching your lights. So just crazy how much technology can do some of these things for you nowadays. Down here, this is for automatic rain sensing windshield wipers. So when your windshield wipers are on and you turn that on, it will automatically increase the speed of the windshield wipers as necessary as it detects the increase in your speed or the increase in the rain. It will automatically wipe faster. Next button down here, that is for heated steering wheel. So I'm sure that I mentioned you guys crossing this bridge now. If you don't already have a heated steering wheel and you are going to have it now, you have to have one for the rest of your life. Not a rule, but you can't go backwards. It just doesn't work that way. That button will help open the back hatch for you. Coming down here, you have your adjustments for your mirrors. Pretty standard stuff here, but left and right in the center is neutral. And then these for adjusting up, down, left, and right. So you can change the pitch of the mirror so you can see stuff behind you. Next, you've got this button right here that'll lock the windows so that only the driver can roll the windows down. If I try to roll the windows down now with that light lit from any other seat, they will not roll down. This is for locking the car and unlocking the car. So that backwards. Driver control for all of the windows. And coming over here. So I've got all of your environmental controls. Again, I love how Toyota keeps these separate right now for most of their products. There's a couple that they don't, but for the most part, they have nice separate controls, physical buttons that you can that are tangible, you can touch when you need to make those adjustments. This does have dual temperature control, so if the driver wants to have it all the way down to low and the passenger wants to have it all the way up to high, everybody can be happy. Now, I don't know if you could hear, but when I turned that on to high, that does use more energy, and the gasoline engine just kicked on because I did that. Back to environmental control. So low on this side, high on that side. If you press the sync button that's over here on this side, it will adjust to whatever the driver setting is. So if I press that, you saw that changed from high to low. To adjust that for the passenger, again, all you got to do is just roll the dial and you can have full control over it. Auto, what that will do is if you push this auto button, it illuminates green. Now the system is going to automatically adjust what it needs to do to try to maintain the temperature setting that you have set for both sides. So I don't know, it automatically increased the amount of air that's blowing, trying to bring this to the low temperature. It's going to get real cold in here, so I'm not going to let it do that, but if I manually change the fan myself or turn the system off, obviously the auto goes off. Down here we've got two settings for the passenger and driver heated seats, so passenger or driver side, passenger side. Over here we've got traction control. I really don't recommend using that button very often. This vehicle is equipped with a dynamic all-wheel drive system. What that does is it moves power front and back, left and right as necessary to keep traction on the wheels, or on the road. So as it detects anything going on, any slippage or anything, it'll move power away from that wheel onto the wheels that are gripping. That helps keep you stable and on the road and lets you maintain control of the vehicle. So turning that traction control off, it stops the system from doing that, and really the only real reason to ever do that is if you already are stuck. Sometimes playing with that can help you get unstuck. This is a 2020 RAV4, so it is equipped with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. If you want to use those features, what you have to do is you will physically plug into this USB port that is down here. Get my hand out of the way. Plug into that USB port, physically tether in, and that will allow you to screen mirror any of the compatible apps that are on your phone right up here. With Android Auto, you may need to download that app. With Apple CarPlay, it usually just plug and play and works right away. So yeah, physically tether in for that. Usually people ask, well, what about Bluetooth? Bluetooth will allow you to make your phone calls or listen to your music from your phone, some of those types of things. But if you want to screen mirror on this screen right here, then you have to plug in down there with a data cable. That's important too. Down there again, you do have the extra little 12-volt port right there as well for whatever type of device you want to plug in. And moving down here, so you can see that little red light with the P. That is the electric parking brake. So when I put it into drive, I'm going to go ahead and just shift into drive real quick. You'll see that parking brake turned off. When I put it back into park, that light will come back on and the parking brake is engaged. You do have the ability to control that if you want. So it's still in park. I press down on this. Oh, it yelled at me because my foot wasn't on the brake. So put your foot on the brake, then press down on this, and disengages the parking brake. Might be useful if the weather gets really cold or something like that and you don't want the parking brake on, but otherwise it just does it all on its own and you don't have to worry about it. This button right here, people usually have a question about that. So this is for auto hold. So what that will do is when you are in traffic, I'm going to just turn that on here. Oh, well, it won't do it because I don't have my seatbelt on. But what that does is you, when you come to a complete stop, it'll keep the brakes applied, and you'll see that same symbol that's right there. It'll be on your dash up here, and it'll change colors when you come to a complete stop. It'll keep the brakes applied even when you take your foot off the brake, and it'll change color to let you know that that's what it's going to do when you take your foot off the brake. And so that's useful in, like I said, in traffic when you are sitting there and you don't want to roll forward, but by accident when you are getting distracted by something. I know you got one on the way, so there'll be plenty of distractions in the back seat. Auto hold could really help. Another time that might be useful is like in a drive-through when you're waiting for your Starbucks or something and it's taking forever. Auto hold keeps the brakes applied when you come to a complete stop, and once you to disengage it, what you'll do is you'll take your foot off the brake and touch the throttle, and it'll automatically take the brakes off and you start going. Most people feel that's a little unnatural, so they don't want it on all the time, but that's why Toyota has made a handy little button so you can toggle that on and off as you need it. Moving down a little bit further, we have the trail button. What that does is it changes the default settings, or not default settings, it changes the settings for the all-wheel drive system so that it's a little bit more prepared for trail or off-roading conditions. And then we have the Eco and the Sport. To engage those, what you do is you roll this dial towards the direction you want. When you do it, you actually will feel the steering wheel tighten. So the Sport mode makes a bunch of adjustments to the vehicle to make the vehicle run a little bit more sporty. Eco mode kind of goes in the opposite direction, making the vehicle run a little bit more eco-friendly. EV mode, what does that do? Well, this is a hybrid vehicle. Putting it into EV stands for electric vehicle. What that does is it forces the vehicle to stay in electric mode as much as it can. So EV mode will, if you press that button, it'll keep the car, like I said, in electric mode as long as possible, and it'll actually drain down the battery a lot more than it normally does. You can't really see, it kind of washes out there, but that battery is pretty full right now. So when you have EV mode engaged, you'll see the feedback up here, and yep, there it is right there. So EV mode now is on. It'll make the vehicle stay in electric mode, and it'll try to keep the gasoline engine off as much as it can. It's still going to come on as it needs to. If you jump on the freeway, EV mode's not going to be beneficial for you, so it'll come on with the gasoline engine. So things like that. Yeah, so let's see, anything else? Oh, coming up here. So this vehicle is equipped with Toyota Safety Connect. You can see there's this little flip down thing right here that opens up, so you can press that SOS button. You can press that to get connected with Toyota if you were ever in an emergency situation. That is a satellite signal, so it is better than a cell phone. So if you needed to get in touch with a tow truck or emergency services, you can just press that button. It'll get you in touch with somebody at Toyota and they can help you out. Up here, you've got your controls for your sunroof, the tilting feature of the sunroof, and the open the close feature of the sunroof. As you can see, I'm a little close, so it's hard to see, but you can open the thing and just have like the glass and not have to have the roof open all the way or whatever. Up here you've got your lights, or your cabin lights, so I'm going to press the door button for you because this is where most people want that. When they open the door, now the lights in the cabin will come on. If you need to turn the cabin lights on manually, you can do it right here. If you want to just turn the driver's side one on, you can do that right there, or the passenger side one right there. Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. You do have lighted mirrors as well. Important to a lot of people, especially my wife. And then you do have the little extensions coming out the side of the sun visor as well. So you can block a little bit extra light. Very nice to have. Just kind of trying to think of all the basics. Make sure you guys have no questions. Down here, for popping your hood open, and that is for opening the gas cap. Just always want to make sure that people at least have been told where those are, because it's embarrassing when you get to the gas station, you can't figure it out. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I know you guys are going to have questions, and when you do, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. What I usually do is I'll just run out and make a video and send you a link showing you how to do whatever it is that you need help with. I look forward to you guys getting your car, and I hope you are having a great day.